Hey guys, this is Locke. In this video, I'm going to show you how to tackle the Silent Dragon. My introduction this time is not going to be as long because a lot of the information is going to be repeated from last time. Like you have to use the set units, whatever you want to use. This time it's going to be locked in, and so on and so on. So I'm going to specifically talk about this dragon. It's better to use melee units because he does some AoE attacks that only target further away units, so it's easier to get by with using melee units. So a lot of people recommend using a full melee team, and you definitely want to bring Valder because Valder has a passive that gives the whole team silence resistance, and this dragon does cast silence on all his attacks. So if if your units get silenced, that means that they won't be doing their skill attacks. They will only be doing normal hits, and your skill attacks deal a lot more damage. If you don't have Valder and you're getting silenced, you can still do it. You will just be doing, less. You will just be taking. You'll just be dealing a lot less damage because you're not doing skills. However, one thing you can do instead is, you can just increase your attack speed, because if you're only going to be doing normal hits and you're not going to be doing a lot of skills because you're going to be silenced most of the time, then you might as well optimize to have your team be built for attack speed. If you just are not able to use Valder for some reason, if you haven't pulled him, or if he's just way too low level to really contribute, maybe you can actually try a few formations. Try with and without Valder. Use an attack speed formation without Valder and see how that does, and then try with Valder and three other units and see how you do, and see which one gives you a better score. The one I'm going to be showing you does use Valder, and since it's going to be melee team based, I'm going to be using Rachel and Delens. And for my fourth unit, I have to bring a healer. I've already brought Karen on the lightning raid, so I'm not going to be bringing Karen this time. I'm going to be bringing Serena instead. I think Serena is a pretty good fit for this one because especially if you are not able to bring, if you're not able to be casting skills because you get silenced once in a while or something, bringing Shay might not be optimal because Shay will let everybody use their ultimates and you're silenced, so you can't really use ultimates. Serena also does run into a little bit of that same problem. If she gets silenced, then she can't use her skills, so she can't heal. But still, I feel like all around it's a better choice to bring Serena than Shay. But you can try with either one as well and see what works best. But this is what I'm going to be bringing. I'm going to bring Serena, and this is the setup. I have cooldown on her because I want her to cast her skills often, which will increase my team's the healing on my team. For Delens, I have the attack set because obviously he has 100% crit. There's no real need for bringing crit, and I only have one attack set and one crit set, so my Rachel gets the crit set. And Valder obviously gets the skill up set. Now, there is something that I want to say about the placement. Typically, you want to bring a tank in the first slot, right? Because that's going to be taking a lot of damage. I actually find it's a lot easier for me to control when I have Delens in the front slot and he's taking the most amount of damage. Now, you have to kind of see if this actually makes sense for you or not, because, look at the equipment on my Delens, right? Like, he has like 33k HP, he has 2k defense, and maybe your Delens is not at that stage. But if you my Valder is around the same, actually has a little bit less HP. But yeah, my Delens and my Valder, they both have about the same amount of defense and HP, so it doesn't really matter too much who I use in the tank slot, but it makes it so much easier for me to actually maneuver because Delens, he has a teleport skill that runs behind him. So if I'm using Valder as the main tank and the boss is targeting him and I run him behind, Delens might just pop up right next to him and take a ton of damage and die. So I feel like it's a lot easier for me just to have Delens in the tank position, and my formation I'm using is Swift, so everyone's getting the same bonus. There's no special bonus that he gets from being in the second slot or anything. So he's getting the same bonus, and I just find it's so much easier to maneuver around with him. And so I feel like this is the best formation that's working for me. You guys have to test this out yourself, see if it's better for you to use a tank like Valder in slot 1 or Delens. Try it out because you can practice as many times as you want and see what works best for you. So this is the formation I'm going to use. I'm using Casper as the pet because, since I have Delens already, who's going to be dealing crit damage all the time, I might as well capitalize on that and use Casper. But other pets you can bring are the Valder pet because it provides a defense penetration. And if you look at all the all the bosses, all the dragons. This one has the highest defense, so bringing defense penetration for this one is going to benefit you more than the others. See, this one has about 2k defense, and this one has about 2k defense as well. So this is the one that'll benefit the most from bringing defense penetration, because you can remove more of that defense. So, and like I said before, the mastery I'm going to use, everything is an attack benefit, except for status resistance. So I have status resist nodes, and all the other nodes are increasing my attacking capability. And yeah, that's it. So let me get into a practice mode and show you how I, how I do this. So right away you will notice that Delens goes to the back, and the boss exactly targeted Delens. So I didn't lose any DPS moving anybody around. Like, that just worked out so well for me, and I feel like I move a lot less with Delens at the when I'm controlling Delens. So that's why I feel like this is so much better than Valder as the main DPS. Sorry, Valder as in the tank slot. As you can see, again, he jumped back and he's away from everyone else. So sometimes you have to make sure to toggle between the all attack and not, and sometimes it's a bit of a challenge, but yeah, that's how it goes. So okay, and now again he is, so especially when this happens and Valder's the tank, sometimes Delens just pops behind next to him, and it ruins the run, because Delens is Delens, right? So here I run everybody in a line and just do this until that skill is cast. So this time I'm attempting to talk and battle at the same time. I feel like I'm doing a lot more mistakes, but maybe it's more interactive. Let me know what you think. Do you prefer just doing a voiceover after, or what you prefer? I'm definitely making a lot more mistakes this way, because I'm not so good at multitasking, talking and playing at the same time. But hopefully it's a bit more interactive. As you can see, damn it. Okay. Yeah, I didn't get far enough, but that's kind of what you have to do. Whenever you get targeted, you have to click on that unit. Make sure you turn off the what's it called, the follow, and you just kind of keep them away from everybody else, so you're the only one taking the damage. That's the main thing that you really want to avoid. Everything else isn't too bad. Things like this, obviously, you want to get everybody out of there, and then you want to keep your tank away, and yeah, that's really about it. So I think this will give me this has a score of 1,600, and I made a ton of mistakes as well. This was not a perfect run, but I hope you get the gist of it, the idea, behind how you're supposed to approach this boss. Hopefully, this video helps you guys to think about it, and also even gives you, one tidbit of information of considering using Delens in the tank slot instead of Valder. Maybe it'll work for you, maybe it won't, but at least try it and see how the run is. When I tried Valder myself, I just had to be a lot more I had to not only control Valder, but every time I moved him somewhere, I had to click on Delens to make sure that his teleport skill is not coming up, and if it does come up, then I have to move him back right away, and then I forget to move everybody else, or they all get caught in AoE or something like that. But I hope, especially in the beginning, you can see how much easier it was just to control Delens, and he just teleports. It's so much easier, and everyone else is just kind of standing still and DPSing from where they are. So anyway, that's my video. I hope this helped, and I hope it gives you some ideas. Just consider the units that you're going to use. You already kind of thought of the units that you're going to use for the Lightning Dragon, I hope, because I did the video yesterday, and now you're going to think of the units that you're going to use here, and then you also have to think about whatever units you're going to use in the Chaotic Lands. So one thing I suggest you guys can do is actually set up 3 formations for all 3 of these. Pick whatever units you want to use here, and whatever units you want to use here and there, and try it out and see what you can score. And then if you're not really where you want to be, then switch them up and see if a different combination gives you something better. That's not what I did at all. So I kind of messed up. Like I'm using Cosette where I don't want to be using her, and I didn't bring a buff remover for the lightning dragon, so I'm kind of screwed this week. But hopefully you guys don't make that mistake. If you do, then I mean you have next week. This is not a one-time thing. This is going to be here every single week. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Take care now.